Hello and welcome, this is JNM with a new Blender tutorial. I want to get you started with Blender, using the Blender environment, navigating in the viewport. It is a tutorial for absolute beginners. Have fun watching it.
The first part, what is the 3D view? What are panels? When you open up Blender, you see this view, 3 objects, a cube, a camera and a point light. These are the objects in the 3D view. When you press the N key, you can open up a so-called panel. With pressing N, you can see the properties panel, for which you can show up some properties of selected objects in the 3D view. When pressing the T key, you can open up the Tools panel. The mechanism for opening several panels is always the same. You press a particular key and the panel is displayed or hidden. In the 3D view, you will do the most of your work. You will arrange the game objects in your scene and you will also do the modeling. Selecting objects in Blender. There are different possibilities for selecting your objects in Blender. Here is the hierarchy view of your scene, where you can see all your objects you added to your scene. You can select them there by pressing the left mouse button. Just like this. But there's a different method to select objects, and this is directly in your 3D view. Move your mouse cursor over an object and press the right mouse button, the right one. Then the object is selected. Here for the point light, or for the cube. You can also select 2 or 3 objects at the same time. Therefore, you have to press the Shift key and then all objects are selected. But only the last selected object is the active object, for which the properties are displayed in the Properties panel. Okay, translation of Blender objects. What does this mean? It means you're moving the objects in your 3D view around. Therefore, you can use the handles, the blue, red and green one. Select an arrow with the left mouse button and then move your objects along the particular axis. Use Ctrl Z to undo the operation. A different approach is to use the keyboard. And this is very handy. You press the G key and after that you can move your objects in your scene. When you press the Enter key, then the translation is applied. Pressing Escape means you don't apply it. And after pressing G, you can press X, Y or Z key to constrain the movement to a particular axis. Navigation in the Blender 3D view means you are panning, rotating or zooming in on or out the whole 3D view and all the objects in it. I suggest to use a mouse with a middle mouse button, a scroll wheel, because when you scroll, then you zoom the view in and out, like I do it here. When pressing the middle mouse button and moving the mouse, you can rotate the whole 3D view around a center. The center is the one of the selected object, the active object. When you press the Shift key and press the middle mouse button and move your mouse, you pan the view. This means you're moving the whole view up, down, left, right. These are the basic operations for navigating in the 3D view of Blender. What does rendering mean? Till now we just added objects to the scene view and arranged the objects. But rendering means you want to see the result. You press the F12 key and then you have a kind of, it's like watching through the camera. You start the scene and get the rendered result. In this scene the shadows are at the front of the objects because the point light, the only light in the scene, is behind the object. But when we move it a little bit to the negative y-axis, more to the front, then you see how it affects the rendering of the object. Cool, right? Okay, I think this is enough for the first tutorial. In the next one we will cover topics like edit mode, object mode, what are the differences, and these will be the basics to get you started for modeling. So I really hope you liked this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and support me on my Patreon so that I can do more tutorials like this in the future. Bye.